You were tired an hour ago. You could barely keep your eyes open. Then you got into bed. The room went quiet. And apparently, your brain took that as an invitation to start a meeting. Something awkward you said earlier. The things you still need to do tomorrow. A conversation you keep replaying in your head. Something you forgot to finish. And suddenly, your brain has a whole list of things it wants to think about. While you're lying there thinking, can we please do this tomorrow? I just want to sleep. So why does your brain seem to become more active exactly when you want it to shut up? Part of the problem is actually the silence. Think about how much is happening during a normal day. You're working, talking to people, watching something, checking your phone, going somewhere, solving little problems. Your attention constantly has somewhere to go. Then bedtime removes almost all of it. No conversation, no tasks, no scrolling, just you, a pillow, and every thought that didn't get much attention earlier. That's why something that barely bothered you at 2 p.m. can suddenly feel incredibly important at 1 a.m. The problem didn't necessarily get bigger. Everything around it got quieter. But there's another strange part. The harder you try to force yourself to sleep, the more awake you can become. You check the clock. 12:43. Then again. 1:07. Now you're calculating. If I fall asleep right now, I can still get 6 hours. A little later. Okay, 5.5. And suddenly, sleeping isn't something your body naturally does anymore. It has become a task you're failing. Your frustration rises. You become more alert. You start monitoring whether you're falling asleep yet, which is pretty much the opposite of what you need. And this is where the night can become a trap. A thought appears. You react to it. Then you react to the fact that you're still thinking. Why am I thinking about this now? Then, I need to stop thinking. And now you're thinking about not thinking. Your brain has somehow turned one thought into 5. Trying to push thoughts away can make them feel even louder because you're still paying attention to whether they're gone. It's like telling yourself, whatever happens, don't think about a pink elephant. And now there's a pink elephant in your bedroom. So what actually helps? First, stop treating every nighttime thought like it needs an answer. Your brain can produce a question without you solving it. If tomorrow's problem suddenly appears at midnight, write one short note somewhere. Deal with this tomorrow. Not a full plan, not 20 minutes of organizing, just enough to show your brain that the thought hasn't been lost. Then leave it there. And if your mind keeps replaying conversations, mistakes, or worries, try naming what's happening without arguing with it. Something as simple as, I'm replaying this again? That's very different from jumping inside the thought and continuing the story. You're recognizing the loop rather than feeding it. You can also give your mind somewhere boring to land. Follow your breathing. Imagine walking slowly through a familiar place. Count backward gently. Nothing complicated. The point isn't to perform the technique perfectly. You're giving your attention something neutral enough that it doesn't need to wrestle with whatever your brain dragged into bed. And please stop checking the clock every 6 minutes. Knowing exactly how little sleep you're getting rarely makes anyone more relaxed. There will still be nights when your brain refuses to cooperate. That's normal. But you don't have to win an argument with your own mind before you're allowed to sleep. Some thoughts can wait. Some problems belong to tomorrow. And some questions feel incredibly important at 2 a.m., only to look surprisingly ordinary in the morning. So when your brain decides bedtime is the perfect moment to review your entire existence, you don't have to attend the meeting.